Hi, I'm Mr. Fox, and I wanted to show you how we did the first two steps, sculpting the primary forms and the secondary forms of this sculpture. So, the new challenge that we're experiencing is how do we sculpt a face on top of an already sculpted face. This is called a sculpting core. So what I want you to do is think of it as shadows and highlights. Those will help us establish planes, and then we can further refine those planes to create the forms that match our reference. So a lot of the artists in this class are 2D artists, and we're trying to transition them into a 3D realm. The common ground between 2D and the 3D is shadows and highlights. So I want you to think of shadows as where you're going to carve clay. And I want you to think of highlights as where you're going to add clay. So most importantly, look at your reference. Look at the reference and identify the high points of it, those highlights. From there you can establish clay and establish those high points of the face. Once you establish the high points of the face, you can fill in the gaps so that now they're all one plane, one flat surface. Do that all around the face, blend it, and now you have a good plane to sculpt on. Once we establish the high points, and we fill in those gaps so it's nice and flat, smooth transition between the forms, now it's time to establish shadows. And so look at your reference, identify the shadows. On my face, you can see the shadow around my eye bag. The shadow, you want to see where the shadow starts, where the shadow ends, and we're going to follow that line across the sculpture. Of course, an important step that I forgot to mention is you want to mark out the proportions of the face. The high points and the proportions create boundaries for us to sculpt with it. So you can see that the shadow darkens around the inner corner of my eye, and it comes out a little lighter as it touches the outer corner of my eye. Meaning that where the shadow is darker, you're going to apply more pressure. So I'm going to carve in the depth, pressing in hard, and as I come out to that outer corner, I'm going to lighten the pressure, creating a nice transition, smooth gradient in value. Anytime you establish depth, anytime you add clay, you want to refine it with a serrated edge. So I'm raking in one direction, and then in the complementary direction, going up with the scour pad. And that'll help refine it further, creating a nice, easy, effective. From there, you can look at your reference, look at other shadows, where they start, where they end, where the shadows are darker, where they're lighter, and apply pressure as necessary. Thank you, and good luck.